Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Leroy Barela, head basketball coach at Albuquerque High, and congratulations on winning the district. And I know there's a lot more basketball to do. We can't rest on your accolades, but congratulations for right now.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a fun season with these guys, and we're looking for the last part of it for sure.
Well, Leroy, your first, I think it was probably one of your first games at Albuquerque High. I was watching the JV, and the JV, man, they were beating the team, and I went before the game. I said, what? How come these guys not on varsity? And you said, hey, I want to keep these guys together, and we're gonna be good over the next 2 or 3 years. And boy, you've lived up to those expectations.
Yeah, I remember that conversation, and yeah.
You're looking at me really funny, like I'm telling you how to coach. You go get these guys up there. So
yeah, no, we left that C team and JV alone, and we wanted them to just build chemistry and build some consistency together, and we trusted our sub-varsity coaches, Coach Hall, Coach Metters, to build them up. And we knew early on that it was a special group, and if there was some buy-in, that we could be pretty good. And I think we're kind of seeing the results of that work, and those guys been really good for us right now. Our junior group, our sophomore group, even our senior group right now, who's our leaders, it's been really good.
Well, I tell you, 21-5, 10-game winning streak. Not to jinx you, so I'm not coming here. I mean, that's something to be proud of. I mean, and you told me you had 9-game winning streak before that in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we started out the season. We played Volcano right out the bat, and it was a tough game for us. And so we talked to the guys and said, hey, you know what? We got to have next game, next possession mentality. And we were able to reel off 9 in a row, and then we had a slide. Man, we lost 3 games in a row, and it just felt like it was the toughest part of the year for us. And I remember telling the guys, okay, we got Sandia coming up, a win against Sandia. It kind of fixes the last 3 games. We lost 3 in a row, and so we played Sandia really well, and it didn't go our way. We dropped that one. So I think we were like 1-4 in our last 5 games, and we sat down as a team, and I told the guys, you know what? In order to get back in this thing, you're gonna have to win out. So my challenge to you guys is go get 10 in a row. Go finish out the season 10 in a row. And so we did that, and every time we won a game, we're like, okay, we don't have to win 10 in a row now. Now we just got to win 9 and 8 and 7, and we got down to the point where they were able to accomplish the task that they were set with, and it's a testament to the grit and the commitment that those guys have.
Well, now that you're winning, I mean, not to deal. You snuck up on me when I started looking at the stats, and it's 21-5. I'm like, you're 5th in this, ranked 5th in the state. So you're really not a lot of people talking about Albuquerque High, but you're for real.
We're kind of okay with that too. We want to play, we want to kind of play under the
radar.
I guess not under the radar, but yeah, it's we told the guys when you get to the end of the season, people are going to know who you are. They're gonna be ready, and especially after the how we closed last year, how on a positive note with a lot of momentum, we knew that we could roll that into the summer and into the fall, and so yeah, it's been a great year, and like you said, that those last 10 games have been pretty special. To go through the district that we are in and to be able to do what we were able to do it's been fun, and it's been rewarding.
Well, I if you remember last year, I didn't get a chance to thank you. I walked all the way down the ramp, and you're like looking at me. I walked out. You're like, what do I want? I just said, hey, I came. I kind of caught you off guard.
Yeah, it was funny.
I don't know what you're thinking. I go, what? Oh, he recognizes me now. I'm in the pit.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good close. It was a good close last year. Going up to Clovis, I think it was an 11-6 game. We went up to Clovis, and I know.
You and Sebastian just beat me up once. But anyway, I know. That's a big win.
It's a big win to go up there.
And I remember this very vividly. And it wasn't against your team or anything. It's just driving. Albuquerque schools are not used to going on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, and then. The gym was packed. The crowd was, it was. I just basically really felt Clovis was going to win that game. Not, but just because of a road game, and it's so hard to win at Clovis. So.
Yeah, it was funny too because you go into you look at the numbers, 11-6 seed, and I think Clovis was just rolling. They had a really good team, and the road trip was something that we kind of took into consideration. So coaching up north, I know a lot of people up there still. So I called some people in Santa Rosa and I said, hey, we're on our way to Clovis. Can we stop in and get some shots up just to kind of break up the 3-hour drive or whatever it was? And so we got up there. We ate some lunch out there. The coaches opened the gym for us. We got off the bus and shot a little bit, and then kind of got our feet under us and got back on the bus. And so what would have been essentially a 3-hour ride turned into what felt like an hour and a half. And so the guys were fresh. We got there a little bit early. The administrators and coaches at Clovis were very accommodating. They got us into their gym early, let us sit down, relax, got some shots up, and man, we just played really well. We played like we were ready to be in a state tournament.
Well, did you get a chance to look around the foyer of the gym and look at all the famous people? No,
Yeah. I saw you. I saw you there.
No,
I saw you there.
They took that out. They're remodeling it. But anyway, I get more comments. People take pictures of that and send it back to you. Send it back to me. But that just. Like I said, you and Sebastian beat me up with my Clovis Wildcats, but you know what? I'm loyal to my my hometown. So
well, you know what? Shout out to Sebastian too, because he was one of the ones that he kind of
because we did on our show. He said he said you're going to win.
So we're watching the selection show, and Sebastian, he gives us a shout out, and I text him and I'm like, this means a lot to us. So when somebody kind of recognizes your potential. It meant a lot, so we were excited, and so Sebastian, shout out, man.
Well, I was a man. I walked down and said, "You beat my hometown." So, and if you remember what I said, "Go ahead and just win the whole state tournament." I mean, if you're gonna do that, just go win the whole state tournament.
Yeah. So then it was good, man. We got to the quarters, and we had to face Danny and his squad, and we got past Sandia in the quarters and got to the semis, and we met up with a team that we weren't too familiar with, and they were really impressive. They were coached really well. Coach Rocky had that Oregon Mountain team ready, and
they were
fun to coach against.
Was it fun to coach?
It was fun to coach against. Yeah, there was so many different pieces that you had to prepare for. The big, the wings, the guard. It wasn't just one thing. You had to prepare for an entire team, and our coaches had a fun time breaking them down and kind of figure like where are the pockets that we can exploit our strengths against their weaknesses. And it was back and forth. I'm going into halftime down 13, and then we came out in the third and we cut it to 3, and then we battled the fourth quarter, and of course they got away from us. And I think it set us on a path for this year. It gave us a lot of confidence, gave us some momentum. And our guys have really responded to that. They went from being the hunter to, I think, being the hunted this year, and they were able to take that and own it and make it work for them. So,
tell you what, we're going to go to Evergard Roof and Solar top 10 plays a week. Come back and talk more about Albuquerque High basketball.
Stolen by Criswell again. This time Noah will go straight to the basket. He's got 2. Mustangs being patient here on this possession, working it around the arc. Espinosa's 3 connects. Dale weaves her way around, puts one up and puts one down. Inbound this one. Right to Green. Oh, rejected by Judy. Morris pulls from the parking lot and connects. Second 3 of the quarter for Latavius Morris. He's got 9 points. Open look. Green, baseline, rise, fires, English.
Ball, no dice. Offensive board is there. Still an opportunity. Shot goes up off the glass. Kane Brand. Oh, just a little kiss off the glass.
Frischlau underneath. Weinrich with authority.
Goes in the corner, 5-4. Pulls up, hits it. And that's it. That's the game.
Great move by him and great finish.
Pick and roll action right to Aguino. It's a two-hand hammer for Kenyon Aguino.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hey, welcome back, Steve Davis Show. Got Leroy Barela. ProView Networks. You know, you're looking sharp. You know,
Yeah.
you had that you had your Albuquerque High shirt and it's green and it just wouldn't work. So we made you wear a ProView Network shirt.
Yeah,
So.
I'll wear it proudly. Yeah, for sure.
All right, but anyway, you know, we're talking about this time of year. I mean, I'll start off with this way. Next week, the Lobos will go to the Mountain West.
Vegas.
Well, high school sports takes presence.
Yeah.
Be over 100,000 people coming to 3 different venues. Speak to that I mean, your experience. You know, because you told me like you had a vision of your team where you're going to be. You know, I think you came in second place last year. This year you win your district. You know, you want to advance in the tournament. Kind of talk about that and what's your vision of this when you went and got the job at Albuquerque High?
Yeah, you know when it's always that kind of uncertainty when you get to a new program, right? And so when we get there, we sit down. I start building a coaching staff, which, man, if it wasn't for dumb luck, I got 3 of the best men that anybody could ever ask for by my side. So. We started with that, and then we met with the boys, met with the parents, and we just said, you know what, in order to get this going in the direction that we think we can get it to, it's going to have to be a lot of sacrifice, a lot of commitment, and a lot of trust, and I think we did that. I think the guys, there's a lot of trust in the program right now, a lot of trust in the coaching staff, and the coaches trust the guys, and I mean, there's nothing that we wouldn't do for each other, and when you have that kind of camaraderie, the game just seems to become a little bit more manageable. I don't know if it becomes easy, but it becomes more manageable. And when you have the type of guys that we have in our program, we knew good things could happen, and we knew we had to be patient. Year one was kind of difficult. So we were 7-20.
Well, you're putting your system in. I mean, you're rebuilding. You know.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you know, people want instant gratification. They want instant outcomes, and we knew it was going to take some time, and we knew that if we were patient and we stuck to what we truly believe in, that we could get it to where we wanted it to be, and where people, you know, could be proud of the Bulldog Nation again, and or continue to be proud of it. And I think that's where we're at right now. And it, you know, speaking to this time of year, it's just a special time of the year when you get to that postseason, and everybody's just, you know, driving down from all parts of the state to get to Albuquerque, to get to the pit, to get to the ramp. Any coach who's ever done it, any player who's ever participated in it, they know the significance. They know how special it is. I never got to do it as an athlete, but as a coach and as a parent, I've got to experience it, and it's the best time of year for sure.
Well, right now you're in a wait mode. You play Saturday night, so you got to watch everybody deal. So how do you back to emotion? I mean, one thing about right now, I you know, when I coached and we got into these situations with Tom Knobber and with Frank Castile and everything, is the excitement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then keeping the kids focused to where, you know, you got ProView Networks, you got James Yotis, you got all the media out there talking about how good you are and all that. How do you keep them focus and mindset to where it's one and done at this stage. I mean that's
Yeah.
the sad part about this
It is,
time of
yeah,
year.
yeah, and it is. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's fought so long and so hard that we're at the time of the year where if you don't get past the opponent in front of you, you go home. And so the message to the guys is, we're at the time of year where with your success, we're going to get pulled in different directions, but you have to accept it, and you have to first acknowledge it, then you have to accept it, and you have to be good about it. And when you learn how to enjoy the fruits of your labor while understanding that there's still more work in front of you, that's how we're managing it. Like the guys know, I want you to understand what you've accomplished. I want you to be excited about it. I want you to be proud of it. But there's still work ahead, and if we lose track of that, it can slip away. So that's the mindset. Is practices. Last week they were cut down to 1:20, and then this week they're back up to 2 hours. It's like, okay, we'll get.
Oh, so I was going to ask that question.
Yeah.
Now, did you take a day off, or did you take one?
Oh, we took the weekend. Well, we don't work. We don't
Oh.
practice. I don't practice them on Saturdays. Obviously, we don't do anything on Sundays. But so Saturdays, Sundays, we kept that consistent. Go home, be with your families. No basketball stuff. Just do family stuff. And then we were back at it. We were back at it full force yesterday. We had a good 2 hour long practice. Broke down a lot of our offensive sets. It's funny because I put practice plans together, and then when I get to practice, I'm like, I think I'm going to change it. So I had a whole practice plan of 2 hours where I just kind of ditched it, and we went a totally different direction. So it just kind of the feel of when the guys get in the gym of what exactly we want to do. And so, yeah, practices are back to 2 hours. It's a lot of focus and a lot of, hey, we're still working. Like, we are still working.
And I'm asking these questions. Do you let games are being played this week? Do you want your players going to games, or do you want them in bed, or is there anything that you
I wanted to be consistent. If they scouted games before, scout game. Let's not do anything any different than we did in the past to get here. Let's not change things up too dramatic. I prefer that they watch them from home on ProView and get rest. But I trust them. I trust that they're making good decisions when they're not with us, and just be consistent in what we're doing. Don't try to do anything that's going to change what we're trying to accomplish. Stay consistent and just keep that goal in front of you, where we've met the short-term goals. Now the long-term goal is we're 4 games away from that. So.
Well, and that's the thing, and I know you. It's one game at a time. So all you're worried about is this Saturday.
That's
okay,
it,
I
this
mean,
Saturday.
and then again Sunday you get to listen to ProView. Everybody talk about where everybody's at and
Sure,
rating,
yeah.
and that's excitement there too. So.
It's and you know what? Growing up and watching I'm a big college basketball guy. I've been a big college basketball guy my whole life. I watch some NBA stuff, but when March Madness and they start doing the bracketology and the predictions, and I was always drawn to it. And then when I became a head coach at the high school level, I would tinker with it. I would start putting this team and this team, and what if this looked like this? And so it's always fun to hear people from the outside who have a hand in it that cover our games, the media people, you guys, and kind of get where do you guys see us? It adds to the excitement. It really does. It makes it fun. I'm not gonna lie. Do I check social media to see? I love it. I love it. Do you agree with everybody all the time? No, but it's somebody.
It gives you a different perspective,
It does.
and actually, you may not want to hear it, but they'll
Sure.
say the negatives about your team
Sure.
that you maybe you
Yeah.
get tunnel vision, and
Yeah.
you're saying if somebody says a little comment, whatever about a player or whatever, then or something like that, it really. If you're a coach, you listen to that and you take it in.
You do, and I think for
Yeah,
us,
but they have to have a thick back.
you have to have you have to be callous to a lot of it, but at the same time is you also have to understand about respecting other people's opinions. Not everybody's going to think you're everything you might think you are, and that's okay. That's fine. And so when everybody starts, this is where I think this team goes and this team, it's fun. It's fun. It's like, okay, that makes sense. I don't know too much about that, but maybe. And then when it all comes out and you look back at what people have put together, what you put together, and what actually is done, it's cool. Like Selection Sunday to me reminds me of being a kid on Christmas Day, and you just can't wait to get that first present open. Like I love to see how it all shapes out. And I know coaches will say we're going to play the team that's in front of us. I get it 100%. That's exactly what we're going to do. But for me and the love and the excitement of this profession, man, late February into all of March is just exciting. It's the best time of year.
Well, let me give you some advice about the media, okay? Just, where you and put it in perspective, okay? I've been doing this for 16 years, and I haven't lost a game.
That's the best. That's the best. I used to tell my dad. So when I was a head assistant at West Las Vegas, and my dad would sit in the stands, and after every game, why? And I said, you are undefeated from row 13, seat 6, man. You're the best. And so he'd start laughing, and it's good. It's fun. It's always fun.
And we're going to come back. We're going to talk more about teams to look forward in the state.
Yeah.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Leroy Barela. Again, thank you for coming on us today. Head basketball coach at Albuquerque High. Saturday night, right? And you play the winner of they have to go through the bracket on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And there's a girls game too, right?
Yeah, our girls play right before us. So the girls are at 1 and we're at 3. So we'll wait for the bracket to play out. On the boys' side, we have there's Rio Grande at Trisco, and then Los Lunas at West Mesa, and then the winners advance to play each other, and then they advance to play at Bulldog City for the district championship tournament.
And like I said, focus is, we've already kind of discussed that. It's, it's sitting out in a week, excitement and everything. And I think you hit it on it's just we're taking this one day at a time, and it's like we prepared every game, and we got our home. I got to bring this up, man. Yeah. Hey, as you win, the Bulldog Nation comes out. You're a team that you don't want to play as you advance, because that Bulldog Nation just they'll fill your gym next Saturday. Plus you're going to have this Saturday, and then you'll have a home game, and they're going to fill that. I mean, that is intimidating.
Yeah, it's fun. It's always good when you bring back excitement. I get texts and emails from alumni guys and guys I know, guys that I respect. They're thankful of the job that we're doing. And like I tell our guys and I tell our coaching staff, we have to do our job. Like we're not trying to do somebody else's work. We have to do our work. And if we do it right, and we do it the right way, and we do it respectfully, and we do it with some class, it'll draw people in, and it has. The last few games we've had packed houses. I've had administrators that are Bulldog faithful that graduated from Albuquerque High that came up to me and they said, this felt like it used to some years back. And it's exciting. It's a compliment, you know, and for the message to the guys is you have a job to do. And the one thing I tell them too is they're responsible for three things. They're responsible for their effort, their energy, and the effort, the energy, and the legacy. Like you have to leave whatever environment you're occupying better than the way you found it. You just have to. And if you do that, then you did things the right way. And so that's our message to the guys all the time. Like, you're responsible for it. The guys that come up after you, they will come into a situation with a strong foundation, with a, you know, and fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to see it, the guys that are here now are responsible for that. And that's exciting. That's a good thing to have on your shoulders.
Well, and also once you get those former players, they start coming in and talking. I mean, it just builds your program and
It does.
And then the student body. I mean, it's just. I mean, I'll never forget. I've gone to Albuquerque High game with Jim Holzman, Frank Castile playing, and those places were packed to the dilt. And it was before then when Hobbs, way back in the 70s and stuff, when Hobbs came in and played Albuquerque High. It just. And then, but it's amazing. The crowd that it brings is energetic. Yeah. I mean, and it just seems when they go to the pit, it just gets, that noise just gets higher and higher. And I tell you what, that's an adrenaline rush for your players when you're walking down that the ramp.
So last year,
gets you your hair sticking up. I've been
doing it for 20 years. You know, as an assistant coach, as a girls coach, and as a boys coach, and so I've been a part of it for a while. And you know, you go watch the games, whether you're in the tournament or not. Everybody goes and you're watching it. And I've seen some really good student sections. And this is not me saying this because it's Bulldog Nation. This is the honest truth coming from me. Last year's student section, when in the quarterfinals I got goosebumps against Sandia, the best student section I've ever seen. It was not the row this way, it was columns and rows, and it was one whole side of the pit was just filled with our student body. It was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. I remember after the game, talked to Danny, talked to the boys, whatever, and then came across, and I just knew that I had to acknowledge what those kids came out and did, and the parents and the alumni that were on the opposite end of our bench. It was just a sea of green, and it was it's everything that as a coach you want to build. Because for me, the blue trophies, obviously that's something we all strive for, but for me it's about community. If we can build community, that's the most important thing. Everything else is the extras. And so during that tournament run, there was community, and it was the most incredible and awesome thing to be a part of.
Well, Albuquerque High is special to me. I think it's special to everybody in the country. We're done.
This is awesome.
We ran out of time.
I could do this another 5-6 hours, man.
So I want to thank you, and then stay tuned on Sunday for selection and seeding.
I will.
And if you're not playing Clovis, I'll probably pick you. So.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Or if history serves better, maybe you just pick against us. It worked better for it.
Then you can use me as a bulletin board.
That's good locker room motivation.
All right. Hey, thanks.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.